Alright guys, so there's something we have to talk about. Now, with the whole COVID thing, we have forgotten about a community of people who suffer from a very serious syndrome. That is C.L.A.P. Yeah, C.L.A.P. C.L.A.P stands for Chinese Learning Arrogant Prick Syndrome. The C.L.A.P syndrome, usually referred to as for short, is a very serious syndrome that 1 out of 3 Chinese learners are going to suffer from during the course of their Chinese studies.
通过几年的学习，我的中文水平达到了一定的程度，而且跟中文学生交流的经验很多，所以我很可以了解这种心态。
So in this video, I'm going to be explaining you guys the reasons why Chinese learners sometimes become arrogant pricks, and I'm also going to tell you how you can avoid suffering from this horrible C.L.A.P syndrome. I'm Santi, I'm a polyglot, and welcome to the Santiglot channel. Alright, so the first time I became cognizant of this horrible syndrome, I was on the internet. I was watching these self-proclaimed polyglot who spoke around 6 languages or 5, something like that. And okay, I watched, and okay, he wasn't too bad. I kind of liked him. He seemed cool, but his Chinese was really, really bad. So I just tried to help him out, and I was in the comments like, man, okay, you're doing a great job, but listen, your Chinese is so bad I cannot understand. I had to look at the subtitles to understand you. You know, I was trying to be supportive and constructive, but then he answered with a, oh, I see, I finally got my first hater. And okay, that enraged me. Like, I was trying to help you, and you call me a hater? Oh my goodness, now I'm furious. So I did what any mature person would have done in my situation. So I very passive-aggressively wrote a whole list with all the mistakes he had made. So there was some back and forth, and he seemed to be quite defensive, and at some point he just told me something that just made everything make sense to me. He said, "Oh, you may say that, but my Chinese friends say..." And when I heard that, I couldn't be angry anymore, which made me angrier. No, not really. I just understood where he was coming from. I understood that he had a severe case of C.L.A.P, and I empathized with him. But now the question is, why do Chinese learners many times become this arrogant, and why do they believe they have incredibly high levels of proficiency when they are not even intelligible? Well, you're a lucky one, because I'm gonna make a list for you. The first reason why people get C.L.A.P is because of social prestige. When you tell people that you know Chinese or you're learning it, most people are going to assume that you are extremely intelligent. However, this doesn't have to be like that necessarily. Chinese, first of all, is not the most difficult language in the world, alright? There are many other languages which are way more complicated. For example, Hungarian. You have all Native American languages, Arabic. I mean, you have a lot of languages which are way harder than Chinese. Okay, now the second reason is because China is a country with a very big economy, which means that every time you tell people you know Chinese or that you are learning Chinese, they're going to tell you things like, oh, wait, you're gonna become rich, you're gonna make so much money because you know Chinese. Well, that could be true or not, but I mean, if you're just getting started in the language, you probably will not make much money. So let's not get too crazy about this. So far we know that Chinese is a prestige language. People are going to validate you and give you a lot of prize because you are learning Chinese, even if you are not conversational at all. Maybe you are just a beginner, but people still are going to treat you like you are super intelligent and they're going to put you on a pedestal. Third reason. So when you approach Chinese people and you speak to them in Chinese, they for the most part are going to go bananas. They're going to go crazy and in a very positive way. They're going to love it, they're going to encourage you, they're going to praise you, and they're going to tell you that you're the best thing ever since sliced dumplings or something, I don't know. Think about it in this way. You're a beginner in Chinese, you probably have a very bad pronunciation, you probably have a very poor command of the language. Yet you're getting a lot of praise. You're being told that your Chinese is amazing. And these, in many circumstances, make certain students develop C.L.A.P. So people become really arrogant, like, oh, all my Chinese friends told me that I'm amazing. I don't need to practice pronunciation. I don't need to practice grammar. I'm just perfect already. And that's a problem, because that makes people become complacent. And the fourth reason. Alright, so maybe those Chinese people who praise you, they are maybe very happy and whatnot, or maybe they just feel awkward and they don't want to tell you that you suck. And here's where a huge cultural difference comes into play. Chinese people don't like making people lose face. If they make you lose face, you're gonna feel bad and you're gonna lose social status or social proof. And if they do that to you, they as well are going to lose face, because people are gonna be like, dude, you're so mean. Why are you making these foreigner lose face? So it's like a weird situation where they just will never tell you you suck. Also, Chinese people are very indirect and conflict avoidant, and they are very subtle and indirect sometimes. So yeah, they're not gonna tell you, but I'm going to. So these are the reasons why a lot of Chinese learners develop a huge ego. And actually all these reasons basically boil down to people not understanding Chinese culture and getting a lot of validation without really having put the work. So basically these are the reasons why people develop a huge ego when they learn Chinese. So now that we understand the syndrome, I think it's about time we talk about treatment and basically prevention. So first piece of advice, guys, do not believe all the praise you're getting. Alright, do not believe your Chinese friends. Do not believe the Chinese woman you met in the supermarket. Okay, you are learning Chinese, it's great, you're getting encouragement. But remember these cultural differences, and remember that for the most part, Chinese people are always going to be nice towards you. So you are getting a rather biased feedback. Now what I recommend you to do is what I've done. To look for a language partner who you can trust. Someone who's not going to humiliate you for your mistakes or whatnot, but someone who you can trust. Someone you know is going to be there correcting your mistakes. Right? That's what you need. You need real feedback. Alright guys, so my second piece of advice for you is that especially if you're a beginner, you must learn pinyin right from the beginning. When learning Chinese, something you realize is that Chinese people do not really understand weird accents. It's not like if you learn French, you can speak with a American accent and people understand you. No, it's not like that. In Chinese, if your tones are messed up or your consonants are not on point, people are not going to understand you. That's why you should learn pinyin right from the beginning. And now I'm gonna give you some hope, because I know it's tough. The good thing about pinyin is that although it's very difficult at the beginning, once you get it down, you're done for life. Because once you learn it, that's it, you learn it. Your accent is already good. And then you can focus on expanding your vocabulary or whatnot. Now here comes my final and most crucial piece of advice for you guys, which is just stay humble. As I previously explained, you're going to be praised constantly. So you need to stay humble. You need to have perspective. You need to be not hard on yourself, but you have to be objective in a way. And when I say humble, I not mean that kind of nally kind of humble, alright? I'm talking about real humbleness. I'm talking about being really humble, understanding that this is a learning process, that you eventually will become a great Chinese speaker, but maybe now you are not, and you need to keep on working hard. Remember the words of philosopher and songwriter Facundo Cabral: El hombre acaricia el caballo solo para poder montarlo. Alright guys, so as I'm editing this video, now I realize that I made a huge grammar mistake, okay? What did I say? I not mean that, okay? It should be I don't mean that. Well, I think people in Jamaica do say it like that, but guess what? I'm not Jamaican, so I don't have a freaking excuse. Now, but I think this will help me get the message across, right? It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how many languages you know, you are always gonna be a human. You're gonna always be a normal person, you're gonna make mistakes. You're not gonna be perfect. So, yeah, so I guess being humble is accepting that and just leaving this mistake in my video for all humanity to see for all eternity. And yeah, what else? Yeah, so this is the Santi channel, right? It's not the Santi perfect channel, so let's get that straight. And what else? I'm eating popcorn with a spoon because I'm editing this video, I gotta use my fingers and I don't wanna get the friggin' keyboard all covered with salt. So yeah, that's the idea. I know 8+ languages, it doesn't matter. You're always gonna be a human being, alright? So, okay, let's stop this. Let's continue with the freaking video. Alright guys, so that's all for today's video. If you found it useful and you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Then, around here I'll put my social media links, and I encourage you to go over to my Twitch, because often I'm there studying languages and doing weird stuff like singing karaoke in many different languages. I don't know, we just have a lot of fun there, so I encourage you to come by and visit. So yeah, that's all. Stay humble, stay multilingual, and let's keep on learning languages, guys. That's all. Peace.